3, 2, 1.
Well, I pulled over just to do this. I love the jets. And they're about to go right over our head. Watch this. Look at that. Look at that. Coming in for a landing, boys. How cool is that? So, alright, I'm going to show you guys how to adjust your tracks if you don't already know how. I figured there had to be a way to take some slack out, and one of my back ones was slipping pretty good. This one here, actually. So you see right there, you see how there's a screw in between there? That's the only complaint I got with Traxxas. What they should have done is they should have put one of them like tie rod screws that is opposite threads on each end, so you could take your little tie rod wrench and just turn it and extend it out or in. But you cannot do that. They did not want to make your life that easy. So what you have to do, you take one screw out. It's very simple. The track itself just pops right off, as long as you ain't got it too tight. You take one screw on out, and then this one here, this one wheel comes loose, and you can just turn it. You can, obviously, if I hold this just right with one hand, just split the difference, turn each side, you know, that way you get the same amount. Hold the thread, turn the other one, but I really only need about 2 or 3 turns on this one because I've already adjusted all the others. And actually, this is the only one that had a decent gap about what the other ones are now. They were all within about 1/8 inch of each other, except for this one. It's the only one, like I said, that looks like it may have already been adjusted. So we're gonna make it look like the other front one. And again, this back one was slipping and I didn't have to do a lot, but we just took some slack out. It feels good. You don't want to make them too tight. This is a front one over here. Now here's how you, I mean, there's also marked on there which one's front and back, but you can just tell on the front ones it's not as long right here, and the wheels are closer together. And the back ones, you can see the wheels are farther apart. And then this one spot right here, I was saying, it's way longer here than it is here. So you can tell the front and the back that way. And again, don't make them too tight because you don't want to strain the motor trying to turn these things, but you don't want them slipping. And the other day I had one slipping. I just thought you had to deal with it or buy new tracks. I wasn't sure. So now we know. Simple fix. One screw comes out, turn it where you want it. You can get about a little over 1/4 inch in that between there. You know what I mean? About 3/8 of an inch if you wanted, but I had one adjusted to its max because when you go to put it up here, see how this pushes down right there? It was kind of too high up still. I had to force it down to get the hole lined up, so I didn't like that. I backed it off. So well, after you get your adjustment where you want it, go ahead and make sure all your wheels are turning freely because they all have bearings in them. Just make sure they're none stuck. And this one up here, it's got some huge bearings in it, but you want to make sure it freely rolls. And then what I just did, I took a little shock oil because that's what I got, and I put it a little bit down in here where the big bearing is, a little bit on the back because it wasn't the most freely. And I'm going to let that sit for a day or so and spin it a lot, but then I'm going to wipe all this excess off before I actually run this outside so no dirt starts sticking to it, none of that. You really don't want it on there to stick to. I just want it to absorb into the bearing, kind of rejuvenate it over time. You just don't want all that sand bonding to this oil, so wipe it off before you run it. Now let's put this last belt back on. I don't have my tripod set up, but I wanted to show you guys how we put them on and take them off. You just flop the top right off over the front way, you know. You can do it on the back. You don't want to hit the shock and mess with nothing back here. You got all this back here. But anyway, you just put it over the bottom ones first when you're putting it back on, and then stretch it up over this top one. It's not that hard. Look, I can do it with one hand. So there you go. Once you get it where you got it, she'll work pretty good. Sorry. Paying but to roll one-handed, ain't they? So anyway, And then just push on them, make sure they're not overly tight, but they feel good to me. I'm learning them as I go. My what was it, the right rear started slipping when you'd climb. That was the first one that would slip, and then I noticed one time my driver's side front started doing it only once. So, and all of them had never been adjusted. This is the only one that actually had a gap like it was, and this is my passenger side front. It never slipped on me, so it was already adjusted. I just did a couple more cranks on it to match up to the other front one I did. That way they were the same distance. I got them, they feel the same. So, I guess now I'm gonna have to put them back on the truck and take them out for a test. That's gonna be in a later video because I want to try these tires first. So